So you also understand a little bit of Portuguese?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, not as much as Nazar. He's been studying it every day with a teacher, but I have a good feel for it because I speak Italian okay. I'm not fluent, but I speak okay. And when I hear people speak Portuguese, I get the gist of what they're saying a lot. Luckily.
Good
No,
listener.
not all the time. Yeah, I try listening. I'm learning. I did Duolingo last trip here, and I did it pretty consistently for 3 weeks straight. But I got to keep at it, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow his footsteps on it. I want to get a teacher and
Have
learn.
the same teacher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I might as well just hit up the
Mesmo,
same teacher.
professor.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, eu tenho professor no Los Angeles, no Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah. Eu acordo, ando no, come cachorros e depois aula de português todos os dias. Segunda-feira até sexta.
Wow.
E agora entende, mas todas as pessoas têm diferentes acentos e like você like I understand you. I
Okay.
understand her. Some people, some accents like in the Ubers
Okay.
here, it's like yeah, what you say. So, but I also realized that in Brazil, people are not all from Brazil. Some people are immigrants, and so they also speak kind of broken Portuguese. And now I'm saying, oh, you just came here.
You're correcting them.
No, I'm just going. You're also learning the language, and so I'm really enjoying it. I'm getting better every day. I feel it, and I understand
Cool.
some things.
And what motivated you to learn Portuguese?
Rafa perguntando aqui qual a motivação deles para aprender português, principalmente o Nazar, que já fala e faz aula todos os dias, né, como ele falou.
I don't know. I think Pedro, my buddy Pedro from 1RPM, he was doing Duolingo on
French.
for French,
Mhm.
and then he goes, I'm gonna make you a friend on Duolingo, do Portuguese. And I said, okay, and I started doing it, and I was like, oh. And then I started realizing I was like, I like the pictures, you know, it was fun. But then after I started to feel like maybe there's a connection with me in Brazil that I don't know, and I felt there was something for me here, something more than just music and more than just people. And so, I don't know. I'm
Do you
just
think-
going for it.
Do you think music is like a path for connecting people?
Of course, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Claro,
Absolutely.
claro.
The best path.
The best path.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to connect with your children, with your friends, with anybody, have a dance party.
Eles estão falando aqui que é muito... Primeiro eles falaram que o português eles vêm aprendendo, né? Fizeram aula, fazendo Duolingo. E que eles têm o Nasri falou que ele tem uma conexão com o Brasil. E tanto ele quanto o Mark sentem que a música, como o Rafa perguntou, que a música é uma ponte, né? Para se conectar com as pessoas. A melhor ponte, segundo o Mark.
É um caminho, né? I also agree because if you choose music for life, make it serious for your life,
Yeah.
not focusing on success as people see it, but as a path for you to know other people that have the same passion.
See,
That is already worth living.
yes.
Yes, totally.
A good life.
Totally.
Então, viver com a música, né? Como eles estão falando aqui, não fazer a música só pelo sucesso, mas pelo amor é um ótimo caminho.
Você contou que ele fez várias músicas pro Justin Timberlake e pro Chris
Justin
Brown?
Bieber. Né?
Justin Bieber.
Justin
sorry.
Bieber, Chris Brown.
Você contou.
Yeah.
Did one with
Nice.
Shakira as well.
Shakira,
Shakira.
yeah, Lana Del Rey, muitos artistas. Yeah.
Muito bom. Então é o seguinte, esses dois caras que estão aqui, eles têm essa banda Magic, para contextualizar. Mas são dois grandes compositores, dois grandes pesquisadores de música. A especialidade é uma mistura de pop e reggae, mas eles estão, vamos dizer, imersos no universo do jazz e também na música brasileira. Mark is very, I mean, I'd say familiar, but maybe in love with Brazilian music.
Oh, yeah. It's since a young age, actually. And you were asking me before. I took a lesson here with the amazing Fabio Torres, a pianist from Trio Corrente, And yeah, to me, Brazilian music is just, it's beautiful and incredible. Like especially the traditional, I mean, all music, even the modern music too, but especially the traditional music I love so much. And yeah, when I did go to school for jazz, and when I went there, we actually studied quite a bit of Brazilian music. So although I never knew what they were saying in the lyrics and stuff, because there's English translations for all the famous songs, you know, and I would just usually hear the English ones. I just loved the chords and the rhythmic feel. Yeah, so I also had a book. You guys probably know this book. My guitar teacher from like a long time ago told me to get a book called The Brazilian Guitar Book.
Okay.
And in that book, I worked through the whole thing. I did a similar one with for Cuban style of like playing montunos on piano by Rebecca Marleon called 100 More Montunos. But the Brazilian Guitar Book was super helpful for me because he gave example. It came with a CD at the time, and it came with examples of every, you know, check out this song. Okay, now check out this one, and check out that. And so I heard, I guess, a pretty good overview. I'm no expert, but I had an overview of the you know, different music from Brazil.
Então o Mark está dizendo aqui que ele, o Rafa perguntou para ele sobre a conexão aí que eles têm com a música brasileira, e eles estavam falando aqui que estão apaixonados. O Mark teve uma aula com
o pianista do trio
Fábio
Corrente,
Torres?
o Fábio Torres.
Fábio Torres.
Aliás, um parênteses aqui, o trio Corrente é um excelente trio de jazz, que inclusive acho que já até foram muito premiados. Não vou falar o nome do prêmio porque eu não lembro aqui, eu não quero falar errado. Mas é até chato que eles sejam mais conhecidos por músicos fora do Brasil do que no próprio Brasil. Né? Tem se não me engano, o Edu Ribeiro na batera e o Paulo no baixo. Né? Então, assim, inclusive eu quero muito que eles venham aqui um dia no Amplifica para conversar. Foi só um parênteses, vamos lá.
Então eles estavam contando, o Mark estava contando que ele estudou, né? Fez um overview, assim, fez um estudo amplo, né? Da música brasileira, e apesar de não entender as letras, porque às vezes ele via ali a versão, muitas músicas da Bossa Nova tem versão em inglês, né?
Verdade.
Ele falou que ele conectava ali, que achava muito bonito, e que ele, inclusive, um professor dele indicou um livro, o
Brazilian Guitar Book.
que é um livro rico, cheio, né, provavelmente das toadas de bossa nova, né, esses acordes que a gente usa.
This episode is sponsored by the Brazilian Guitar Book. No, it's not. It's not.
Livro.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah. Nasri is famous also for your humor, sense
That's
of
right.
humor.
That's right.
Maybe, talvez.
My
talvez.
stalkers, they told me that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little.
Am I right?
Eu sou maluco.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I always see the funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
Maybe it's part of the reason you guys fell in love with Brazil.
Yeah,
Because we're
very.
making fun
Yes,
of
yes.
things all the time.
Absolutely.
And also part of our culture, carnival, for instance, is to laugh, not to cry, in order not to cry.
Laugh,
It's
not to cry. Yeah.
I like that.
Laugh, not to cry.
How do you say that in Portuguese?
Rir, não chorar.
Huh?
Rir para não chorar, desculpa.
Não chorar.
Fala.
Rir para não chorar.
Ah, that's beautiful.
Rir para
This
não chorar.
episode is sponsored by Laugh, Don't Cry.
Yes.
Eles estão falando aqui do senso de humor deles, e que os stalkers do Rafa, né,
Sim, os
os
stalkers.
perseguidores ali contaram que eles têm um grande senso de humor. E aí o Rafa falou que talvez por isso que eles conectaram com o Brasil, porque aqui a gente faz piada de tudo, inclusive de coisa séria, né?
You know, I remember, I'll tell a little sad story, but my father, he passed away 2 years ago. And my mother, I was joking around a lot with everybody. And my mother was like, even here, huh? And I was like, but my dad was funny. You know, that's what my dad did when his father passed away. He was joking around because, you know, it's like, I think it's like if you're given a personality to bring light into the room at a dark time, of course I cried for my father and I did everything for my family, but sometimes for 5 minutes we just need to like laugh, you know, to survive the pain. And so I think it's a very powerful weapon.
Então aqui ele tá contando que, né, esse traço aí do humor que pra ele, até pra uma história triste, né, que ele pai dele faleceu 2 anos atrás, e que ele fez, né, em algum momento ali, ele estava até trazendo humor ali, e a mãe dele falou, mas até nesse momento você vai, né, fazer piada? E aí ele disse que é o que o pai dele gostaria, né, que o pai dele tinha esse senso de humor que ele herdou, e que às vezes a gente precisa trazer a risada como uma forma de passar pela dor, né, conseguir processar aquilo. Então, mesmo nesses momentos é importante para passar por isso.